Namaskar, welcome to Honest Astrologer YouTube channel. And in this podcast, I'm going to take up a very important and probably the most requested video of all times, which is about Shukra. So, this is about understanding Shukra or Venus. While traditionally I've written a lot about Shani, Rahu, and Ketu, people have often asked me which planet I think is the most underrated, and my answer has invariably been Shukra. People are often shocked to hear this, and many say in a confused tone, but Shukra is a very soft planet. And I smile and often ask, Shukra is the best friend of Shani and the guru of Rahu. How soft do you think Shukra can be? Western astrology has done a great disservice to Shukra, portraying the planet as just Venus, the goddess of love, who rules beauty, sex, love, art, and all good things in life. While there is some truth to this approach, this is terribly incomplete. This shows only the one side of this super complicated planet which has multiple personalities. And for the record, if you read the mythology of Greco-Romans, Venus, the goddess of love, had a dark manipulative side. So as per Indian astrology, this love and beauty is just a small part of Venus. In its entirety, Shukra has a deeper, darker, smarter side. He is the Rakshas Guru Shukracharya, the brilliant, shrewd and scheming ustad of Rakshasas or demons. I must add that Asuras, Rakshasas or the so-called demon in Hindu mythology are not equivalent to evil demons from hell as described in the Abrahamic religions. These asuras have their own positive qualities and have given some great souls like Prahlad and Bali. So by no means should Shukra be imagined an ally of Satan or demon from hell as in the Abrahamic sense. In fact, if you know the complete story of Shukra, he comes across as the champion of the underdogs. I firmly believe that in order to understand astrology, one must read mythology or scriptures. Shukra has the most complicated and colorful mythology associated with it. So as per Hindu mythology, Devas and Rakshasas are in perpetual conflict. Devas are demigods who are softer, kinder and smarter, while Rakshasas are the tough guys who are powerful and hardworking, but can be cruel and brutish, and they usually lack intelligence. Vishnu, the Lord responsible for well-being of all creatures, often ensured that Rakshasas were continuously defeated by Devatas in several conflicts. Thus, the Rakshasas were perpetual underdogs in this clash. The Rakshasas struggled without any guidance until one of their own girls decided to do something about it. Poluma, a girl of the Rakshasa clan, was married to celestial Rishi Bhrigu. She was distressed by seeing her people being subdued by the Devas again and again. She pined to give birth to a boy who would guide her people to victory in this ever-raging conflict. She did have 4 sons, but all 4 were more sattvic like their father. They simply lacked the inclination and the instinct required for this Herculean task. What Polema wanted was a son with razor-sharp intellect and Rajasic qualities. A son who would not only enjoy getting into power struggles but would be smart enough to outwit the Devatas. Her husband finally gave in to her request and she was blessed with a dynamic and brilliant son named Usana. Upon completion of his education, Usana was appointed the preceptor or the guru of Rakshasas by the Rakshasa king Vrishparva, while the Deva king Indra appointed Brahaspati or Jupiter as the preceptor of Devas. Thus, the great rivalry of the two geniuses started. This rivalry runs deep and still continues after eons. I have seen in astrology Shukra give mixed results mostly in case of Jupiter-ruled ascendants, which is Sagittarius or Pisces Lagna. Similarly, Jupiter can be complicated towards the children of Shukra, which are Libra and Taurus Lagnas. However, Jupiter does not hit that hard. I must add that in most occasions, as per mythology, Jupiter was outsmarted by Shukra. Shukra led the underdog Rakshasas to victory again and again despite the odds being against them. On most occasions, Vishnu himself had to get involved in order to undo the damage done by Shukra. Another thing which people do not know about Shukra is that Shukra is the smartest of all planets. Yes, I just said that. So Mercury is usually book smart, someone who knows the concepts, the calculations, the communication. But Mercury can be clueless when it comes to things like romance, art, love, diplomacy. Then coming to Jupiter, Jupiter is intelligent, philosophical, and spiritual, but he can be grossly impractical. Jupiter can be too blunt, straightforward, self-sacrificing, and the biggest problem is that he swings from one extreme to the other and often realizes that he has crossed the boundary when he is out by a couple of miles at least. Whereas Shukra is the master of both the spiritual as well as the mundane, and he brings a fine balance to both these sides. Remember, Libra, the sign of balance, is ruled by Shukra. Now, Shukra is a master of arts, philosophy, alchemy, psychology, intelligence, and most of all, diplomacy and politics. There are stories after stories of Shukra using his genius to outsmart the Devatas. So let's look at a few adventures of this soft planet which shows how hard he plays. Number 1. Do you know Shukra charmed Kubera into giving his entire wealth to the Rakshasas? This did happen. Second, Shukra ensured that Rakshasa king Bali won the kingdom of Swarga by defeating Indra. Vishnu in his Vaman avatar had to get involved in order to get the kingdom back for Devatas, but not before Shukra put up a very stiff resistance and even lost one eye in the process. This is a pretty popular legend. Number 3. Shukra brought Devatas and Rakshasas to an all-out war by supporting Chandra, the moon god, against Jupiter when moon had eloped with Tara, the wife of Jupiter. Lord Brahma himself had to intercede in order to avoid this all-destructive war. Next, Shukra managed to learn Mrit Sanjeevani, the art of resurrecting the dead from Lord Shiva. Shukra used this Mrit Sanjeevani to advantage of Rakshasas in a war leading to almost annihilation of the Devatas. In order to stop him, Shiva himself had to get involved. He had to swallow Shukra in order to keep him out of this war. Shukra managed to come out of Shiva's body with his seed and was blessed as Shiva's son and got the name Shukra. No other planet has so many interesting stories showing various shades of grey. Now I'm going to talk about why Shukra gets all that bad press. While his intellectual and spiritual side is usually underplayed, his sexual and pleasure-loving side is overhyped. The moment we say Venus, the image that comes to mind is often of movie stars, scantily clad fashion models, alcohol and drug-fueled parties, and all other such debaucheries and excesses. Newsflash, this is mostly Rahu and very little Shukra. So folks, movie industry, Hollywood, Bollywood, whatever is Rahu, it is not Shukra, it's Rahu masquerading as Shukra. Now here is a pro tip. Rahu follows Shukra and wants to get involved in the domains of his guru. Okay, Shukra is about balance, Rahu is about excess. I had an interview with Dharmesh Mehta Sahab and in which he discussed this concept that Shukra knows his limits, Rahu goes to the excess. Rahu loves to play the evil twin to Shukra and often does it successfully. Shukra does represent luxury but more of a healthy kind and in an optimum quantity. Shukra's mundane side, once taken beyond a limit, would open the doors of Rahu. A glass of juice can turn into alcohol with a little chemical reaction. A good glass of wine will do well to your health. But if you take it beyond an entire bottle, you will get ill, drunk, and you will be under the clutches of Rahu. Remember, Shukra is balance, Rahu is excess. Healthy entertainment is Shukra. For example, a good movie with a sensible message. While Rahu loves to portray sex, violence and debauchery, which is the mainstay of most movies today. Shukra, you should enjoy. Rahu, you should stay miles away from. One side of Shukra which has been terribly underplayed is the spiritual side. This is where Shukra opens his real treasures. I've seen this side of Shukra being very prominently displayed in the sign of altruistic Aquarius and the mystic Pisces, where he is exalted. Now, contrary to the popular belief, an exalted Venus is often focused more on the bliss of spiritual side than the mundane joys of the physical world. For most people with an exalted Venus, spirituality is more important than physical pleasures. I have seen an exalted Venus often in the charts of many sannyasis and saints, for example, Ramakrishna Paramhans, one of the greatest souls ever. So this is a planet which can open the doors of spiritual bliss as well. And this is one planet that makes life worthy and fun. In many cultures, the word Shukra is associated with thanks. In Hindi, Punjabi, the word Shukra hai is used to thank God for good things in life. Even in Arabic, the word Shukran is used for thanking a person. No wonder, because Shukra is the planet that rules all good things in life. Shukra is one planet that knows how to enjoy the world as well as how to get the bliss of spirituality. And in my eyes, that is the peak of wisdom and balance. Both things Shukra. Goodbye and God bless. This is G. Vijay Kumar from honestastrologer.com.